is over there co-signing. We ready to ball out with our taxes.
Yes.
I'm going to give you some crab legs. I'm going to tell them throw a shark in that thing.
Not a shark.
A shark. I want a whole shark in my crab legs. No, but seriously, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Welcome to the show. We got a lot of stuff to cover.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
You nervous?
Not at all.
I think you're more comfortable than me.
Listen, you do this. We do this.
Teamwork make the dream work, baby.
There you go.
All right, I know you guys are ready for the good stuff. So on that note, let's get into the breakdown.
Ooh.
So a New Jersey father has been arrested after he was caught on camera walking into a high school to confront a teenage boy for bullying his daughter. Let's roll the footage.
What's wrong with you, bro? Scary shit. It's not him. Scary shit. I don't know who it is. I knock anybody out the floor. And my daughter.
Now, that was 38-year-old Aaron Thomas at Paulsboro High School in Gloucester County. Now, he has been charged with simple assault, making terroristic threats, trespassing, and disorderly conduct. So apparently this all started because he was signing his daughter out of school. Apparently she was having an issue with that particular teenage boy over some photos.
Okay.
We don't know if the photos were explicit photos or what nature the photographs were, but he went into the classroom, confronted the boy, cursed him out, grabbed another teenage boy by the arm, and ultimately left the classroom. A lot of people on social media, you know, wearing their opinions. Now, I don't have kids, but if I had a daughter and a boy was picking on her, I probably would roll up on the teenage boy too. How now you have kids.
I do.
How would you feel if some
roll up on him? And if he needs somebody with an attorney, I'll help pay for it, okay? Here's the thing. There are so many young girls who don't have a man to stand up for them. Right. And he probably is he was defending his daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because one, we don't know the context of the photos. And young boys are mean.
Yeah.
Like, they're mean.
Yeah.
They're trying to prove a point for whatever reason, and they're mean. And she probably came at him like, don't do it.
Right.
Like she came at him with a totally different approach. And then she was like, oh, that didn't work? Okay, I'm gonna call my daddy. Because she knew her daddy was gonna take up for her.
Bring some smoke, right.
It's unfortunate though, because there's so many shootings and there's these crimes and all these things that take place that it's concerning because the parent was able to pass security and everything else that should have been put in place in order for him to get passed.
Exactly.
Right? So it's a catch-22. They lucky he didn't pay some other kids to beat the boy up after school though, because it could have went a completely different way.
That
you
could
know
have
what
been
I mean?
a wave right there, actually. Hey, but you brought up a good point that he did make it past security. And if we look at the clip, let's pop it, you guys, with no audio. You can see that the teacher comes up behind the guy. He doesn't. You would think if an aggressor an adult is coming at a kid, he would try to intercept that, but he's standing behind the dude. So my thing is, if he can't even protect the kids from an adult that's threatening them, I know he's not protecting the kids from each other. Right.
And he probably also knows what's happening in that classroom. And so he was like, yeah, get him. You know, he
probably needed a little reinforcement.
Get him real quick so he know he's not some big bad wolf.
Right.
Unfortunately, this dad trying to protect his daughter is facing a charge, but hopefully the right people come and stand up for him.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of young women who don't have a man that's protecting them. And he did what any girl or any wife would want them to do for their daughter.
Absolutely.
Is protect them and stand up for them.
And you know, a lot of parents say that they go to the school when their kid is getting bullied, and the response is typically they can't watch every kid all the time. It's kind of the cop-out. So then stuff like this happens, and at that point, I feel like the school is the ones dropping the ball.
There's another kind of mother inside of me, okay? and I say that to say I was the oldest. So I defended my little sister, I defended my little brother, and I have twins. So my kids don't know they don't know that they're supposed to stand up to people in a certain manner. They've been in environments that it's always been loving, kind, and respectful. But as they enter into the real world, they're gonna know that there are people out there who are aggressors, and you have to figure out how to handle that situation.
Yeah, these schools got to handle it better. And on that note, we got to move on, you guys. So Senator Bernie Sanders, now this one is dear to my heart, you guys. On Wednesday, introduced a bill to establish a standard 4-day work week. The bill is called the 32-Hour Work Week Act, and it is set to protect workers' pay and benefits to ensure there is no loss to pay. We got Shantae over there fist pumping. Now check this out. So over a 4-year period, it will also lower the threshold required for overtime pay. So here's how it goes. If you work longer than 8 hours,
Okay.
you get a time and a half pay. If you work longer than 12 hours, you get double pay. Now this has already been going on in other countries, but
Correct.
Bernie Sanders was saying that we are 400% more productive than we were when the 40-hour week was introduced. So there's no reason for us to have to work this hard. And on top of that, have to work second jobs sometimes. So I ain't mad at the bill.
So the only way this is going to work right now, it's still...
You preach it to the choir.
It's still hard for a lot of people. I could not go back into the workforce world unless they were paying me at least $120 an hour. That is my bare minimum. And there are some people who are working for $19 an hour. How do you live? How do you break that down and take care of a family? How do you survive in the real world? Now, nurses already work probably, they're called 4x10, so they work those 4x10s. But then how do you have the doctor's office is open? How do you have court open? How do you have, how does that work when you need to go to the dentist's office? If everybody working Monday through Thursday and Friday you off, where you going?
I mean, unless they rotate the other, they would have to figure that out. I want to know, because you are an entrepreneur, you own business as well. How do you feel about having employees in the office 4 days a week versus the 5?
We actually have staff members who work 4 days a week. We have staff members who work 3 days a week. We have some who only do part-time 5 days a week.
Okay.
And I shouldn't say part-time, but they've broken their schedule up so that they're in the office shorter hours throughout the week. It actually gives great production. The people are productive. They're not tired. They're not sleepy. They want to get their job done because they know, let me get this done so I can leave. It gives a different work environment that people do enjoy working in. And they've been doing it in Europe for a really long time. Like, you get a sleep break.
They get a nap. They get a nap break.
They get a nap break.
Like we get a lunch break, right.
But you have to be able to be productive. Now, the problem that you're going to have is people lazy. America has made lazy people. And it's almost like when they went and started working from home, they got lazy. They got caught sleeping on Zoom.
Are they lazy or are they tired?
They're
you know
lazy.
what I'm saying?
They're lazy. And I'm going to say the reason they're lazy is because the production didn't change. It wasn't better work and then they took off. It was half done, half and incomplete.
I don't know, Chantel. I'm always ride for the less hours, more pay. Because studies have shown that it does increase productivity.
It does.
That you can't deny the data. It supports that. So, and thanks to Henry Ford, he's the reason we even have the 40-hour work week. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this bill gets passed. We need this one to get passed.
I think it should get passed, but with structure, because now you have a 4-day work week. How does that work for the kids in school? Are the kids only going to go to school 4 days a week? Because they need all 5, okay? They need all 5.
We'll see you guys, but I'm Team Bernie on this one, you guys. But we got to keep it moving. So lead prosecutor Nathan Wade in the case against former President Trump has resigned on Friday after the judge called for him to do so over his romantic relationship with Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Williams. Now, Judge McAfee ruled that the romance created an appearance of a conflict of interest. Now, Nathan resigned, and this is a quote from his resignation. He says, "I am offering my resignation in the interest of democracy and dedication to the American public and to move this case forward as quickly as possible." And Fannie also acknowledged his professionalism. I think it was I feel like Trump's defense is just trying to do anything that could stick.
They're trying to side swipe us and get us focused on anything else. But listen, that black man did what he was supposed to do for his black woman, regardless if they're together or not, okay? Listen. He's not going to let him go down. He's still, even if he's not a part of the team, I'm sure he's going to be able to give some support in some way, shape, form, or fashion so that they can get to the end.
Like under the table, you think he's going?
Now, don't get caught doing it, okay? Don't get caught doing it. I'm just saying, I get it, right? I totally get it. They were winning, and they had to throw an alley wrench in the case.
Yeah.
And they had to get us distracted long enough so that the evidence that Fannie had pulled from the beginning that was helping them win the case, they needed to figure out how to object those things so they could come back from it. It was just to buy the other side time. So that they could come back and try to fight for the case. It had nothing to do with them.
Because, see, my whole thing was I could see if it was a conflict of interest if she was dating someone from the opposing counsel. Then I'm like, okay, if she was dating one of Trump's defense attorneys, then okay, cool, I can see that being a conflict of interest. But they're on the same legal team, so them vacationing together, having whatever romantic involvement they had no bearings on the case.
It didn't, but this goes back to him not closing out his situation right. Because he was married before her, and the other woman was hurt. And Trump's team was able to utilize a hurt woman, okay, to affect the whole situation. Because had that woman not been hurt and had been moved on with her life, they would have came to her with that, and she'd be like, "Child, please."
So it was the ex that blew the lid off.
Oh, she definitely had some parts in it, and another attorney who was supposed to be Fannie's best friend, like really close friend, had something to do with it too. But that goes back to us wanting to be the head in charge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know how this is gonna play out. I still think Trump is gonna slither his way out of this. I've been saying it the whole time. But you don't think so?
I don't think he's gonna get away with it.
I just know this
this is just blowing smoke and trying to blind us. There's so many other things going on. We really have to just be cautious.
You gotta be cautious. You guys, we gotta take a break. We'll be right back with What's Trending.
Let's go! Come on. Hey. The Candice Push Show. The Candice Push Show. The Candice Push Show.
Hey, man. Welcome back to the show. You are just in time for What's Trending. So Oscar winner Regina King has opened up in her first interview since the tragic passing of her only son. Take a look at the clip.
A lot of people are going to appreciate that you said it was his choice.
The therapy, with psychiatrists and programs, and he just, Ian was like, "I'm tired of talking, Mom. My favorite thing about myself is being Ian's mom." And I can't say that with a smile, with tears, with all of the emotion that comes with that. I can't do that if I did not.
And this was in reference to the suicide of her, at the time, 26-year-old son, Ian King. You know, I watched clips from that interview, and first of all, I love Regina King. She's one of my favorite actresses, going back to 227 ever.
When I say she's a phenomenal actress, she's played on so many movies and so many shows that people just don't know about that are on like different networks. She's amazing at what she does. And so I think my heart actually was broken for her because she lost her son and she lost acting all at the same time.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have to give it up
Yeah.
in order to grieve.
To heal.
Yeah.
But you know what? She said some very profound things. And that one of the quotes that she said was that grief
Grieving.
is love with no place to go.
Man,
that's deep.
That made me cry.
That's deep.
That literally made me cry when I seen it yesterday, because if you are not dealing with a child who has mental issues,
Yeah.
they could have been dealing with this since he was little.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so when you're fighting with someone who's fighting within themselves and you don't know how to help them, and the only thing you can do is pay therapists and psychiatrists and medication and hospitals, if you haven't lived that life with a person or a child that you love, you don't know the experience. You're literally fighting demons you have no control over.
Control over. You know, it's funny you said it got you a little choked up. The part that kind of hit me close to home was when she said that she respected his decision. You know, I don't know. And if you've never lost somebody to suicide close to you, it's a very interesting grieving process, because you go. My best friend of 10 years committed suicide in 2019. He actually murdered his baby mama. He stabbed her to death, and then he committed suicide on the side of the road. And I remember when I first got the news, I remember, like, of course I was heartbroken. You know, that was like my brother, like real blood brother.
Right.
But then I remember being pissed off at him.
Like,
How
how
could you? The kids
What's
were in the
right?
house. You know, it's all over the news. And then it's like, and it's weird to be angry at a dead person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that Regina King is gonna really like touch some people with it. Like that helped me let go of some stuff. Like I had to respect, like that's what he thought was the best
thing.
for himself. You know what I mean?
Because people don't realize, like, the doctors make you think, you know, that that's the temporary thought, but who is in control over you?
Right.
You.
Right.
And so I really respected the fact that she had to take ownership to say, I respect the fact, I respect his decision.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know how long and how many years he was in pain and what they were dealing with.
Yeah. She simply said he just didn't want to be here anymore. She has to respect that.
And that also shows you that no matter how much money you have in this world, it will not buy you happiness.
And then she also said that depression, grieving and depression looks different on air. I don't think black people, I don't think we really know how to grieve. We get through the funeral and then we go right back to work the next week.
That is so true. And because so my brother, he was murdered at 17. He literally had just turned 17. Wow. And I watched my mom go through years of healing. It took her 17 years from the time he died, 17 years later, to finally say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So as a parent, we don't know how long it takes for someone to heal when you've lost a child, but it's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful to watch. It's
Yeah.
painful to experience.
Yeah.
And we do go right back to work the next
Like
day because
nothing
we don't
happened.
have enough time. So what I did was, as my kids started getting older, they literally have a therapist, and
Really?
and I let them listen, talk to the people.
For real?
Talk to them before you talk to a stranger. Talk to them before you talk to someone at school.
Yeah.
Talk to them so that you can figure out how to talk to me, because you may tell me something that's going to make me feel away, and I respond as a parent, but not in the space that I needed to respond in. And they've had therapists since they were 15.
Wow.
But they'll probably live with that, knowing that I can have this person doesn't think that I'm crazy, and it gives me the tools and the resources that I need to be able to communicate with other people, or even process my feelings in a no judgment zone.
In a safe space. Well, we're happy to see Regina back out there. Prayers up for your healing. Now, we got to keep it moving. So rapper Lil Mama breaks down as she does an interview about her infamous performance with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Let's roll the footage.
It was like I Love on the radio in the morning, Wendy Williams, Angie Martinez, who she talked to Jay. And he was just like, yeah, you know, I didn't like it. And he was so angry. And
Ain't make you like depressed or nothing?
bro, I was hurt. I was depressed. I was like, yo, what's going on? And then you got everybody telling you like you doing bad. People pointing at you like, what did you do?
How was you able to get through that?
Now, this was from her infamous MTV VMA performance where she hopped on stage
She
with
did
Jay-Z.
not perform.
She didn't perform.
You keep calling it a performance.
Her crashing the
She
performance.
hijacked somebody's performance that they studied and they rehearsed for a show. She got caught up in excitement.
That's what it was.
She got caught up in the love of her city. Hey, I'm from New York, but I knew not to run up on the stage with Jay.
I mean,
Nah.
this is the unpopular opinion, but this is truly how I feel like Jay-Z and Alicia should thank Lil Mama. And I'm going to say why.
Because they still talk about it?
Yes, that's the only reason we
But they're
remember the
talking about
performance.
that. They're not talking about the performance. They're talking about that.
But
the
I'm saying-
performance was completely overshadowed because of that.
I felt like the performance, low-key, was kind of boring until La Mama got up there.
It probably was, but that man is Sagittarius. He crazy.
Who's Jay-Z?
Yeah, listen.
I mean, I don't know.
And it comes with respect.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
like, and he, here's the thing. Bruh did like this. He tapped her.
And she still.
Go on now. It was one of them.
Yeah.
Go on now.
Yeah.
And she didn't even leave. She got the warning and she still stayed.
So you don't feel sorry for Lil Mama?
No, not at all. It definitely affected her career.
Career, big time. Yeah.
MC Lyte has been her manager for a lot of years, and I don't think they've been able to.
She's done a couple of movies since then, but not like, because she was hosting America's Best Dance Crew. She was a judge on there. I remember that before the MTV Awards. She crashed it.
Yeah, she messed up with that one.
She messed up, but it's good to see Lil Mama back out there again. So we got to keep it moving, you guys. So Joe Budden drops the trailer for a highly anticipated interview with Candice Owens. Take a look.
Do you want to have this talk with me? What is your problem with the LGBTQ community?
Oh, I got a lot of them. How much time you got? You see a man is wearing a dress. That's gay. That stuff is just gay. Why do I have to look at Lizzo in a thong and have somebody tell me that it's beautiful? No, I hate that. I just don't think Ice Spice should be singing about farts. Ariana Grande. I would like to talk about your hoe antics. Sexy Red, her baby shower. When her partner's face was in her butt. Disgusting. Don't try to make me love filth.
Now, it's no secret that the black community has shunned Candice Owens for the most part because they feel that a lot of her views are anti-black. I don't think Candice Owens is anti-black. I think she just says the stuff that is like, you're not supposed to say that in front of the company type of situation.
I think she was raised in a community that wasn't hers.
Okay.
And because of that, what they said and what they taught her is what she believes. I believe that it's almost like when an African-American man marries a Caucasian woman.
Right.
And they say, well, how? And then like, well, when he went to school, what you think? That's who he fell in love with. It's almost like this is the space that she was raised in, and she doesn't know that she's captured some of those emotions or those feelings or that anti-piece. Yeah.
I don't know, Shanti. I think people, just my opinion, I feel like black people misinterpret what Candice says a lot of times.
No.
Prime example, now this is what she said during the Black Lives Matter when it was at its peak during the George Floyd thing. She said, it has nothing to do with black lives when 18 black people were murdered in 24 hours in Chicago, plus 10 people shot in Brooklyn in 1 hour. The movement is about black anarchy, and I will never bend the knee to that. It sounds jacked up when she says it, but it really, if you think about it, we out here marching and protesting and looting because a guy got killed by the cops. When, like she said, 18 black people were killed in Chicago in 1 hour. We don't care about that. I get what she's trying to say.
But it also is based off of the press. If the press is not getting the information out to everyone at the same time, you have access to something different from us because you're in media.
In media, right.
We're not in media. So because of that, we don't have the same information that you have in real time that you have in order to form that opinion. So then are you upset with us or are you upset with media for not telling us?
I feel like she's upset with us for not paying attention to what the real focus should be on.
You can't see what you can't see. You don't know what you don't know. You don't have access to what you don't have access to. It's like, you know, wanting to be a millionaire, but you only got access to the people on Section 8. That's your circle. You're not in the right circle.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm paying to watch that interview. I want to see what Candice, because he's going to ask her, is she proud to be black? That's the answer everybody wants to hear.
Let's see.
Let's see. We got to do it. But we got to keep it moving, you guys. So Joey Chavez has announced that she is pregnant with baby number 3. Now, this time she's pregnant by Dallas cornerback Trayvon Diggs, who is 25. She's 35. Let me start by saying that. She's 35. He's 25. Now, her oldest daughter is by Bow Wow. Second child is by Future. And now she's had a baby by Trayvon. Now, a lot of people are saying, is this a trend where the older ladies are getting pregnant by the younger men? Was it?
So I think first of all, it's one of those cut the check situations, okay?
That's what you think? It's about that
all
pay.
the baby daddies got enough money to cut a check.
Look, Drake just put out a song called "Rich Baby Daddy"
Listen.
with Sexy Red on it. So, baby,
I do not co-sign Sexy Red, and I do not co-sign her in no way. But what I will say is, I was in a marriage with someone who was 12 years older than me. And you can get caught up in a situation where you're trusting the person who's older than you to lead you and guide you and support you. And sometimes their motives have everything to do with themselves and not about you.
so you don't think the age is really a factor in it?
I think it's a huge factor
Oh, okay.
because they can lead you based off of what they want,
Okay.
not what you need.
Well, we're going to see. Well, congrats nonetheless. Enjoy. We pray that she has a happy, healthy baby.
Yes, we do.
Chantel, thank you for filling in for Candice.
Anytime.
We'll see Candice back on Monday, I suppose. I know she's watching. But thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a safe weekend. We will see you same time, same place on Monday.
Good job.
Good job.
Hey.